Hey, how's it going, people? Today we're going to be looking at top 10 Korean shows, South Korean shows. Actually, no, we're not looking at 10 South Korean shows because there's no top 10 South Korean shows. We're looking at top 2 South Korean shows. We're not looking at top 2. We're looking at one South Korean show that I binge watched for like the past like 3 days. And it's because it was a really short series, and it was called, as I believe, if I type it out on my computer right now, HellBound. Yes. Okay. So what this show is about is it's essentially uh hell is real, God is real, and if you committed a sin, you'll be sent to hell in a certain amount. You'll be told by a quote unquote angel that you'll be sent to hell.
And I want to clear the air and say that, for the record, I am a zoophile.
Shut the fuck. And then after that, three big black buff boys will come beat your ass and then burn you alive, and you'll go to hell probably. I don't know. We don't know past that part. So this happening all over the world, but it takes place mainly in South Korea because this is a South Korean show, and yeah, people, they got very like religious out of this. There are two main religious, or there are two main, what do you call them?
2 hours later.
There are two groups that emerged out of this. Okay, the first was some people called the New Truth, who were essentially like trying to say like, oh yeah, this is God's doing. You committed a sin, you committed bad things. You go against the doctrine that we made up, then these big black buff guys will come beat you up. But there's another group, which is essentially a terrorist organization that legally resides in South Korea, but we don't talk about that. They're called the Arrowheads. Okay, and who they are is they're essentially like these people who they're the fanaticists, if that's a word. If it's not, I don't care. It's a word now. And essentially, what they do is they burn people alive. It's the best way I can put it. Okay, the best way I can put it is that they burn people alive, and then when they burn them people's alive, they like try to frame it as though it was the doing of the big black buff guys. And that's all right. Okay, one side is like religious, the other side is just terrorists, which are both living legally within South Korea. And yeah, it goes well for them. Okay, any form of opposition they have at the beginning just gets stomped out. Okay, but you see, 4 years after these big buff black dudes appeared, this baby, you see, shortly after it was born, it was damned for hell. Yep, that's right. This baby was getting spawn killed. Okay, apparently 3 days from after the baby was born, he is to die by the three big black buff black dudes. And the parents were like, no, we won't let that happen, and they didn't let that happen. And it's like they successfully stopped it. Okay, they were successfully able to stop the baby from getting vaporized, from getting Thanos snapped very painfully. But the problem was, instead of the baby getting vaporized, both of the parents got vaporized instead. And there's a line that they said like near the ending. I forgot what was that. I'll play it on screen if I get it somehow.
저는 신이 어떤 놈인지를 잘 모르고 관심도 없어요. 제가 확실히 아는 건 여긴 인간들의 세상이라는 겁니다. 인간들의 세상은 인간들이 알아서 해야죠. 안 그렇습니까, 여보세요?
And essentially, just before the series ends, it's shown that one of the people who got their ass whooped by the big black buff guys revived somehow. So this could mean some things. One, I don't know, man. But it's a good show. If you want to see a bunch of South Korean gore, similar to that in Squid Game, then it's right here. It's HellBound. It's good show. Good show. I recommend it. Although to be honest, I really wasn't into the lore. I was sort of putting it on my second screen whilst playing Counter Strike, and just I wasn't really too into the lore. I was morely into the three black guys. Don't take that out of context.